All
Welcome
right.
to the Russell Hantz Show. I am your host, Russell Hantz, and co-host Cody. We have it started off a little slow, a lot slow, but then we got exciting pretty fast. We're gonna go ahead and it's just gonna be you and I today. May have a call in later on. We don't know for sure. But anyway, so the family visit. Let's talk a little bit about the family visit. And me as a player, I'm going to have to say that I want it. I want my kids out there. I want Hannah, Haley, Gracie, and Michael out there. I could see the emotion. I know I would break down because it's my kids. I get it. But as a fan of the show, watching it, I'm over it. I'm like, come on, guys. It's fun. We may have 10 minutes of it. We have 30 minutes of the family episode. Half the episode. When it's such a good season, when you have so much strategic play going on, we're sitting there and watching everybody cry. Now, I get the crying. I'd probably do the same thing if it was my kids. But what happened?
So I know that if you look at Twitter, and I haven't been on Twitter in like a year now, but I know a lot of Survivor fans love it. And man, I've hated the family visits for like the past
No,
10
man,
seasons or so.
that's not
Like
what I'm seeing.
as a fan, oh, they don't like it either. That's good.
Well, I'm seeing a lot of people not like it.
That's good. That's good to hear because I hate it. And I know you just said you hate it.
Yeah. Well, I like it as a player. Like if I was out there,
oh, of course.
What we just seen is never going to happen again. Even the losers got their family members. I guarantee you Sandra's sitting at Ponderosa with her family member there.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And the thing is, they could have at least edited out the losers getting to see their family. Like, it's cool if you fly them out and then they get to see them, but you could just not even put that in the episode and we'd never know and it'd be perfectly fine.
So it wasn't 15 minutes. It was 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was 32.
30 minutes.
I think it was 32. We were keeping track. Man, honestly, right now, I am so pissed off. I'm sad and
we'll get into that.
I'm so pissed off, dude. What the heck,
we'll get
man?
into that.
I can't even hold back. Like, it pisses me off so much.
Yeah, but with the family, I know, me too. But with the family visit, I didn't agree with everybody getting it. You know, everybody that, like I said, Sandra probably got it.
Okay, so family visit. I'll try not to even think about the craziness. What I liked about it, man, is when you're on a TV show, it changes your life and it changes your family member's life, especially if you're with them when you're trying to get on. Like I tried to get on a show for like a year and a half or 2 years with my wife, Autumn, kind of cheering me on and helping me go through the emotional highs and lows. And then to get on one and then to win one. And I only won $125,000, but these people all won $1 million. So it literally not only changed their life from the experience side, but also financially. So I liked this family visit more than I like the random family visits for sure. Because like,
I timed it. I watched it. I looked at my clock exactly when it happened. It was 27 minutes. This person's right. But right after the family visit, we had an immunity challenge right off the bat. So now you have to put that in play because we're we want to see gameplay. We want to see strategic gameplay. That's what we're here for. They have too much going on that we don't know about. We didn't get to see Michelle or Denise at all talk about anything.
Now, in a season like this, if you could imagine being out there, I feel like really the gameplay really ramps up 6 hours before Tribal. I don't know that there's a ton of gameplay like 2 days before Tribal happens. And if there is, I think it resets because everything is rotating and shuffling and so many names are being thrown out. Like the plan tonight was Jeremy. I don't think that the plan was Jeremy when the family visit was happening. I think that was maybe people were thinking it, but I don't think it was really vocalized until probably hours before because it's kind of like the last name that gets thrown out is what sticks. So like, what's the point of even throwing out names days? Like,
and with Tony winning individual immunity, it made him super comfortable, and we've seen it. It made him super comfortable, so he goes after Jeremy. And I don't know. The lines have been drawn. I don't know if they're going to stay like that. We can go ahead and talk. It's crazy because I do my players' performance, and what am I going to do? What am I going to say? I'm going to say, oh, we talk about family visit. We'll talk about tribal council because that's what we had.
Yeah, and they're doing the 3-hour finale, and I kind of think 3 hours is a long time. It would have been better just make every episode 2 hours if you're going to do 30 minutes of family visit, and don't do 3 hours as a marathon, man. Do a 2-part back-to-back nights so that you can divide it up. That means we're going to be talking about Survivor like an hour and a half after that. So that we're going to do like 5.5 hours of Survivor, bro.
Right.
Dang.
But this time it's going to be short because it's like, what just happened? So we're going to get right into it. Tribal council, because we can base everything off of tribal council, how we're doing here.
Oh my gosh, bro.
So, you know what I liked about it?
Oh,
of course,
dude.
Tyson goes home. What I liked about it is how Kim looks back at him. This is the first episode I see Kim really playing the game. She looks back at him not as a mom. She looks back at him as a poker player. And she's looking to see who she should. But something happened because they had 4 votes, right? And they didn't all vote for the same person.
One got taken away, so it was a 6-3. It was 6 versus 3. So I don't know why they split it up, dude. Maybe they were thinking
was it 3? It was 4.
It was 4 versus 5. But there was a still a vote.
Right.
The thing is, I felt that the still a vote was overkill. The way it worked out was it was a good bluff because she stole a vote from Denise, and then if she was thinking this way, which I think she was, it worked out perfectly for her because she was thinking, okay, that group of 4 has an idol and they can use it as a shield, and if they guess correctly, then one of us is screwed. So if I steal a vote from Denise, hopefully it gets them to guess. But I still would have pocketed the still a vote, and I texted you when it was happening. I was like, Tyson's gone as soon as she used it on Denise. Why on earth would that group of 5 target Denise, man? It was so clear that they were going to get Jeremy, and then Tyson's the next guy.
I know why she did it. She was playing way too hard. She was overthinking it. She was like, the one that they won't vote for is the one they're going to vote for, and that's Denise.
Well, yeah, that was the bluff. That was the bluff. And the only reason...
If she would have played what was in her mind, like the non-bluff, what's in her hand, she's playing that item for Tyson.
I thought it was pretty obvious, man. And the only reason it would make sense for Sarah to use a still a vote is as a bluff because they had the numbers 5-4. So there's no way she's using a still a vote to help her. Now, if it's 5-5, then okay, yeah, use the idol on the person they steal the vote from. Now, what pisses me off the most, because we can't fault Kim for guessing wrong. I mean, a little bit. It frustrated me a little bit, but I mean, you know, it's hard to guess correctly.
Vote a little bit.
Jeremy, man, I don't know why Jeremy did that. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you draw rocks, the 2 people that receive votes are safe, right?
I think so, yeah.
So Jeremy knows they're voting for him. That's why he bounces. And he's in a position where he can say, okay, if you don't play it, we'll go vote. And it'll be 5-5 and it'll be a tie. And then he basically could have forced her to play her stuff first. And then he just plays his and she didn't even use hers. I guess maybe the rules are that Jeremy had to play his before they voted. And then the still a vote could be used after the vote. Or no, she used the still a vote before the vote.
If she would have said, I want to still a vote, and she would have stole Jeremy's vote, then Jeremy could have walked off with the still a vote. So it was all depending on who, and she wanted Jeremy gone. I think she would have, but she stole Denise. That's what confused Kim, because she stole Denise's vote. It made Kim think that they're going to all vote for Denise, when, of course, they're going to all vote for Tyson.
It's frustrating.
And where I'm confused at They had 4 votes, man. They had 4 votes. Yeah, they had to steal a vote. They had to steal a vote. Okay, so she steals somebody's vote, so they only get 3 votes.
Yeah.
Is
So
one.
it
So
then
no matter
became
what,
6-3.
it's going to be a tie.
Oh, so they split their
They
votes.
split votes 3 to
So they
3 to
split. So the
4.
idol didn't
Yes,
even freaking matter then. Wow. Okay.
didn't even matter
Now
because it would have been a tie.
hold up.
So
Now
she was right.
now that means Kim really should have just played that idol on herself. Because if she knew about the still vote, she may have not known about that though.
Oh, she should have kept it in her pocket for next tribal.
Yeah, I think playing it on she probably could because she was not a target there. Man, some of these women are really can fly under the radar. Like I feel like Denise, out of those 4, they would never target her of those 4. It was Jeremy and then Tyson and oh man, I wish Jeremy would have stayed there, but because I mean, here's the thing. Yeah, you don't know if it's you.
Is this right? Is that right? Was it 5-2-2? I don't think it was. Didn't they get 3 votes and 4 votes?
Yeah, it was. They got 6 votes. The group of 5 got 6 votes because they had 5 plus 1, and the group of 4 got 3 because it was 4 minus 3. So what they did was they split their 6 votes on 2 people. So or no, that's not true. My bad. I'm getting it wrong. I don't know what they did, man.
I thought that someone may have flipped. If someone flipped, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. 4-2-2. It wouldn't have mattered because Michelle flipped. They said.
I really wonder what the heck
is
going on.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about with these new school players. You have a big move. Let's say it would have worked. Michelle didn't know one way or the other, but let's say it would have worked. It's a big move, huge move. So Kim's like, let's do it. I'm ready to play. I'm ready to use my idol. Let's make it happen. And then you have someone in the group that flips their vote. You can't make big moves if you don't have the loyalty of the group staying together. If you can't count on their vote.
Yeah, dude. And that group
so if it was
that group of 5 seems solid, right? They executed, I'm assuming, right?
They seem pretty solid. Yeah, they executed their vote.
I guess I can't.
They did what they were supposed to do.
I can't hate on what they did. I'm rooting against them, so it's frustrating to watch. I don't know what the chat is, who they're rooting for, which group they're rooting for, but I was rooting for the 4. And I feel like Jeremy's move was incredibly short-term thinking. Like, unless he's thinking, okay, I'm going to go on a winning spree in immunity challenges, which is almost like what it seemed like because he was talking about how Tony was so comfortable with his. But I just feel like long-term that's going to hurt him because those 4 people, that puts a bad taste in their mouth when he bells on them like that. And if all 4 of those people are on the jury, which most likely, 3 or 4 of them will be, they might look back to that moment as a way where they could have been positioned better. And it's just, I just felt like it was poor jury management, poor long-term thinking for himself.
You have to put in perspective that he was probably, if he would have been sitting there, he may have went home.
It would have been 5. It would have been 5-5, and that's
that's back to my point though.
But you got Michelle. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's back to my point with Jeremy there. So if you have Jeremy there, everybody talks about the idols. That five has an idol and a walk-away power. So they know they're good. So they need to get together, talk about what they're going to do, and then effectively, he shouldn't have left because they needed that number. They could use her idol. They couldn't have split the votes. They would have not split the votes if Jeremy wouldn't have left. They couldn't have.
And I don't think Michelle would have flipped because it actually could be seen as a really good move by Michelle because knowing it's 6-3, Michelle probably realizes, okay, it was
no matter what happens, Michelle's thinking no matter what happens.
Yeah, because what they should have done, I don't think they did it, or did they do it? Split their 6 3-on-3. Because if they did 3-3 and then Michelle votes for Denise, knowing that they stole a vote from her and she's probably one that they're splitting on, And it's actually a great move because better Denise than, or is Michelle and Denise close? They didn't show them a lot this episode, but I think they might
They
be.
showed them sitting there in the water together, but we didn't see much strategic play. We was too busy watching everybody cry.
So the problem with so this was such a fascinating tribal council, and like it's really fun to watch. And basically everything I'm saying is speculation, though. It would be so nice if we got each player's like a diary cam from each player, kind of recapping their perspective. And like, there's so much downtime and stuff. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they could start YouTube channels and break it down. But like, maybe Michelle's doing what I'm speculating she's thinking, which would be really smart. Or maybe she's just turning on the group and not really thinking that in depth. Like, you never know.
Yeah, the thing, man, it's the whole thing with the old versus new school. It all comes together for me easily. I see that the new school players, they don't trust each other. They can't come together. We see that twice so far at Tribal Council. They're all getting up talking. Like, you don't have it together. You really don't have it together. Like, it shows that nobody trusts anybody.
Well,
and Jeremy sure ain't gonna trust. Oh, Jeremy gets up and leave, and wishy-washy their game. Jeremy, he votes against Denise. Jeremy votes against Wendell, his own alliances twice. Jeremy gets up and walks away from his alliance again.
Dude, I've been thinking when I watched this, until that point, of course, I've been thinking, man, he's doing really well, but we'll see how this unfolds for him. It looked like him and Tony were talking together.
He's not, man. Jeremy is not playing a good game at all. If anybody says he's playing a good game, then understand what I just said. Like, he's not sticking with. They could have worked something out and then got the majority, that 5. That's what they needed to do. When I played in season 19, it was 5-5 at one point. I went up to John Fincher, and we just seen John Fincher just now, Parvati's husband. I went up to him and I said, the vote's going to be tied. When it's tied, I got your back if you flip. So I knew it was going to flip. I knew they were going to flip. These people would never tie votes. They walking away. They're using idols. They're doing everything that they can do. They won't flip that coin. Jeremy should have flipped that coin because he's in trouble. He needs those 4 people to go further in this game. Without them, Jeremy is done. He's not playing a good game. He played a good game his first time. It's not a, you see, they say an excellent Jeremy. Yeah, he played himself. Exactly. He played himself. So, by walking away like that, it just messes up everything. And now his name is in the air and he has no alliance now. He's lost 3. He's losing every single alliance member on his own.
It almost could be such a bad move that maybe it buys him time where they look at him as, if it really disrupts his jury management, because I feel like it looked like a really coward move, and I don't think that'll go over well with the people that he screwed over.
They said that. That's what they said.
I don't think it's. Honestly, it's a good thing if you were with Jeremy in the final. It would be pretty easy to roast him to the jury, especially the 4 that he screwed over. Now the 5 people though. The way they huddled, I was rooting against them, so I didn't like it, but I think it was a good strategy move. I mean, if you're in that huddle of 5, you're feeling pretty safe and you're pretty much going to do whatever they agree on in that huddle. And also, I wonder if it's the type of situation or like move where it solidifies those 5 where they realize, wow, we just had the numbers. Like, let's just do that again and again. 3 or 4 more times. Do you think those 5 would stick together next week? Do you see them banding together? No,
because we're not seeing that. We're not seeing the new schools really stick together. Yes, they had the numbers, so that's what they're going with. They're going with, as long as it's not me and I have the numbers. Now,
who do you think?
This person thinks that Jeremy would, if he stays, that he's voted out.
It's 5 on 5. It's 5 on 5. So they could go to.
They got votes.
Now, Michelle, maybe they tie and revote and Michelle screws them over. Maybe.
No, they don't tie and revote. What happens is they have 5 votes, and then Sarah steals a vote. They have 6. They can't split the vote at that time. If they do, it's 3-3. Now they have 4 votes with Jeremy there. They have 4 legit votes. They will not split the votes when someone has 4 votes against them. They would have voted all on one person, Tyson, and Kim gives the title to Tyson, like it's supposed to be, and then they save themselves. It's one of those moves you have to know who they're voting for.
So what would have happened is they used the still. So Jeremy could have sat there and either voted or waited for the still vote to be played. I think both those advantages had to be played before the vote, right? Which is why.
Yeah.
So Jeremy has 2 options. Really, he didn't take either of them. He took the coward's way out, which I think will screw him over next week, if not then soon. But he should have just freaking waited and let Sarah use her still vote. As soon as she uses it, you basically nullify it and go home, and then it's 4 versus 4. And then, like you said, they can't split. So Tyson's the easy block.
Jeremy is playing one way and one way only. He is saying it's all about me, and I'm out. As long as it's not me, it's not going to work.
What if Jeremy
not going to work?
What if Jeremy comes out and wins this season? What are you going to think? Are you going to have to say
the way he's playing? He won't win because, like you just said, Wendell even said, "Look at him. He walked out on his alliance." Wendell, he walked out on Wendell. He walked out on Denise.
You know, that's a great point because not only I'm talking about how he pisses off those 4 and loses their jury votes. It's not going to go over well with the jury, but especially the people that he voted out. Wendell's going to hate him. And really, when you get enough people that passionately hate you in the jury in Ponderosa, then it's the bandwagon effect, where if there's 5 people that are against you, then it'll start spreading.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just shocked that if people think that that's a good move by. Do you think anybody thinks that's a good move by Jeremy? I mean,
I don't think anyone does.
He in gameplay, it's not. I wanted that side to do something right. Now I was like, okay, if Jeremy he got up and walked away. So let's scratch that. Now when you sit there and you think, you're like, okay, we're screwed because she gets to steal a vote and she has a vote. So now we're really screwed because that's why Michelle flipped. Now would Michelle flip if she flipped due to that reason? Not being cowardly, if she flipped, like, look, I did the math in my head. Yeah. So, of course I'm going to flip. There's no way out of this.
I think that she really did that because think, man, it's actually a pretty obvious thing. I'm surprised that, well, I guess Denise wouldn't vote for herself and Kim and Tyson. I think it was really smart putting votes. It's 6-3. They're going to split them 3-3. They still a vote from Denise, so she's getting 3, and then someone else is. So you just put 4 on Denise, put 4 on Denise. Wait, that honestly, dude.
Well, I know how she was thinking because I've been in that situation before recently. What she did was she threw her name off on her own alliance on Tyson. So she throws. Is that what happens?
I'm so confused right now, honestly, because Tyson went home. So Tyson got 4 votes, right? And I'm sorry.
Is that all? Tyson gets 4 votes. Yeah, we didn't see. I didn't see the actual. Who did Michelle vote for? That's what we need to know.
Yo, if people are watching this and mad at me, I'm really sorry. I'm just confused because it doesn't make.
Yeah, we know it's 5-2. So who did Michelle vote for, though?
So maybe Tyson and Michelle voted for Denise. How did it go down?
She votes for Denise. That's why Denise gets 2 votes.
Who else voted for Denise, though?
Why? I mean, that's the...
Tyson may have? Because they're thinking what I'm saying.
She votes for Tyson, but Tyson gets 4 votes. 2 votes for Sophie, 2 votes for...
It's almost like the group of 5 just threw all their votes on Tyson is what it seems like. In which case, I'm not a huge fan of her using
Well,
her
if they did
still a
that,
vote.
then they didn't split the votes.
If you use the still a vote and split your votes 3-3, that's fine. Splitting votes is super sketchy when people are this
No, that's what she did.
wishy-washy, though.
I got it.
Okay.
I got it now. They were 6 votes. So they did split the vote, but Michelle voted for. They had only 4 of them vote for Tyson, and Michelle voted. So it makes a.
Is this what you pinned from Caleb? That's the accurate? That's what you're saying? Okay.
No, that's just what I'm thinking.
Okay, I got you.
We just watched it, guys. So we watched it just like you. We didn't actually get I didn't see the names. I didn't get to see who wrote down whose name.
I wish
So that's what makes it confusing on our side.
I wish that they would do like exactly how they do Ponderosa on their YouTube channel and really cool episodes. I wish they could get player recaps of like some of the stuff you just can't explain unless we heard from the players. And I wish they would just do a little 2-minute diary cam for each player explaining what their thought process was with their vote, because we just don't get enough information at all.
Right. I think that, yeah, no, we didn't get, that's because of the low ones visit. But I think that Michelle just was like, okay, I might be one of them. So I'm going to go ahead and put on Tyson. We don't know because we didn't see. They were too busy doing the family reunion.
Well, the thing is that so the way that the producers edit it, and it makes perfect sense, is they don't show us enough so that we're guessing who's going to go home, and that's what's fun. You're on the edge of your seat.
Right.
So even in regular episodes, many times, like you don't know why they voted for what. These people are very strategic players, and Survivor at this point, the only people that are still watching Survivor season 40 are people like us and like everyone that's watching this that are super into the strategy side of the game. So to put out extra content on the YouTube channel or the CBS app or something where we we get Michelle's explanation for voting for Denise, like that would be really nice to see. If not that, then make the episodes 90 minutes and have the first 5 to 10 minutes of the next episode take us in. That's exactly how Big Brother edits theirs, and it's great because it fills us in on why people voted certain ways, and then it makes a lot more sense to us.
See, I thought that I seen Sophie's name 3 times, but everybody was saying 2. So
it's a weird. It's really hard to understand what on earth happened with the way the votes were spread, and I also really am confused why she would use a still a vote when they have 5 on 4.
They said she didn't flip. I think she flipped, guys. I think Andy. I think she flipped.
And on top of that, Sarah isn't even really their primary target. I mean, I guess you don't know that if you're sitting there, you're probably paranoid. But I feel like the still a vote could have been more powerful used.
Nobody knows what's going on, man. Everybody's like, no, it was 5-2-2. But Michelle flipped. Michelle didn't flip.
Well, look,
we.
Now, at least we're not the only ones, so you can't say that we're dumb. We're both not dumb, but I wish I knew. The thing is, man, even if we did know, it still might be hard to decipher. I really think
bottom line is Jeremy leaving. Bottom line is if Jeremy doesn't leave, they have a fighting chance.
Here's the thing, though. Oh yeah, that's right. Now, Jeremy, I seriously think he has a chance to where he can be a GOAT where they're like, dude, the jury hates him. These people hate him. He would be a decent person to sit next to in the final. I think he really would, because a lot of these players are not super – they're not like layups, I guess, in the final. Who would you want to sit with out of this group? Who would you want to sit next to? Are there 3 in the final? 3 people or 2?
Yeah, it's probably 3.
Probably 3. So what
it's 2 and 3 sometimes, but it's probably going to be 3 because they want more personality.
If you got to pick, who would you want as the 2 people next to you?
At this point, I would want Michelle and Ben. At this point. Oh no, I would take Jeremy. I would
Okay.
definitely take Jeremy.
That's why
Yeah,
I
I would
asked
take.
it to see. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm taking Jeremy and Ben to the end if
No
it's me
Michelle.
because
You'd
no
or
Michelle, Jeremy and
okay.
Ben because he's played a little bit more aggressive.
And
Uh,
what do you think
my
about
the way I think now is different than how I thought back then when I actually played.
now? What about Ben? Would you like what makes you choose Ben there?
Because I would try to choose the ones that were aggressive to somebody in the jury. Uh, well, like he was to Adam, because that's what happens. You hurt people's feelings, and then they
Hmm.
don't vote for you. So what what he did was the worst thing ever. The reason I put this up here is because Ruth says, why should Jeremy sacrifice himself for his alliance? Save yourself. It doesn't work like that. Jeremy doesn't go further in the game if he doesn't sacrifice himself for his alliance. I gave my
Hmm.
idol up to Parvati because I wanted to go further in the game, not because, oh, I'm giving it to Parvati because she's just so beautiful. I'm gonna give her the idol. I gave her the idol because I wanted to go further in the game, and I knew I couldn't do it by myself. I knew I was in trouble. Jeremy has nobody now, so by not sacrificing himself, plus not to mention he sure didn't carry any jury votes. He doesn't have Wendell's jury vote. He doesn't have Denise if she gets there. He doesn't have any of them's jury vote at this point because he
Yeah.
just walked out on all of them. Tyson, he doesn't have Tyson's jury because he's like he's going to leave us out to dry, basically. So that's why Jeremy should have sacrificed himself. The new school of play is thinking, no, it's all about me, save myself. That's the new school of play. The old school of play, you get your alliance and you get to the end of the game. And Jeremy, he's in trouble. There's no way.
Yeah, so the way that you have to think about it with any strategy game, but all these competition reality TV shows is there's 10 people this episode, right? So let's say they all have a 1 in 10 chance of winning 10%. Now you look at their gameplay and you start knocking some of them as higher percent. So maybe someone has a 15% chance of winning, someone has a 7% chance. Nobody has like an 80% chance, but you can give yourself small advantages here and there. Yes, he got himself to final 9, but now his percent chance of winning the game, which is the ultimate goal, it took a plunge, man. So he used his advantage and lowered his chance, his probability of winning the game. And
Right.
you're there to win the game. You're not there to get to final 9 or final
Right.
7. So it was short term thinking. I think maybe he got paranoid and panicked, and he was
Scary. Yeah.
he was probably fearing going home with that advantage, but really, I think he would have. I think he would have stood a fair chance if he stays in his 4-on-4 and they have an idol to try to protect someone. I mean, she probably would have. I think they would have known to play the idol on Jeremy too, because I didn't. I felt like it was kind of obvious it would be Jeremy or Tyson, but who knows, man? I mean, that's just me watching the episode. They could have no clue who it was.
Yeah. Now somebody thinks that if Jeremy gets to the end, he's winning. No way.
I think
Now
it'd be
it is a
very
short.
hard.
Right. It's a short term play. He's just stabbing all his alliance in the back. It doesn't work like that. And I never played like that. I didn't stab my alliance in the back. I go to the end with my alliance, and I still don't win. So he by doing that, it's just his jury management wasn't the best at that point in time.
I mean, I think it was a really bad play. The more I think about it, because what you said about Wendell is perfect. Wendell is super emotional, as we saw this season, but there's no way in hell he's going to vote for Jeremy.
And he says it out loud too.
And I bet Michelle and Wendell will hook up at Ponderosa, and she'll vote whatever way he tells her based on their interaction on the show. And he screwed over the other 3 people, so it's just bad. And it's just not a good look. If you're sitting up there, you have to ultimately debate to the jury. I think this season especially, the jury's going to probably have a kind of – they're not going to finalize their vote until after the final jury where they ask questions. And it's going to be very easy to roast Jeremy and put him down if you're campaigning against him.
So – at this time in the game, if you're really, really a good player, wouldn't you think, Jeremy's not going to win this game, not what he just did.
Yeah, so I think he's
Let's
going to
drag
get
him.
pretty – I think he could easily come in second or third now. So who knows?
Yeah, because the only problem you're going to have is everybody gunning. Jeremy's going to be gunning for – Jeremy really doesn't gun for anybody. He did say Sarah's name. That wasn't even an issue. So I think that the way he plays, the way he's playing the game, it's just he's trying to play a social game, and he's just messing that all up by
yeah,
by just keep flipping on his alliance. There's no way Jeremy was ever not going to walk away. That wasn't going to happen.
He really should have decided, if she steals my vote, obviously it's easy to walk away. But if she doesn't, then just sit there and ride it out. I guess he may have been thinking he has no idea what her advantage is, and maybe she can use hers after the vote. Yeah,
when I voted, when I gave my idol to Parvati that one time, I knew my name was going to be written down. I knew it. But then I thought I talked Tyson into flipping his vote. I thought that I seen it in his eyes that he was going to change his vote to Parvati. And then we would have just 3 votes would give us enough to take control. It was 3. That's all we had. They had 5. And I thought that would give me enough to take control. Now, I knew that I couldn't do it without that move. So I remember Jeff specifically saying that's a big, bold move by Russell before they read the vote. Now, Jeremy could have sat there and took that big, bold move right there. It would have been a huge gameplay move. It would have been a good strategic move, loyal to his alliance, showing that he's going to fight for his team, stay in there. His best move was to stay right put where he was.
Dude, I mean, your idol play there, I would say that's the best idol play of all time. I mean, it's unbelievable right there. And I feel like if Kim landed her idol play, that would have been a really good idol play, man. It would have been phenomenal.
It would if Kim would have landed that idol play, that would have been in the top 3 for sure of all times. We just seen 2 things that could have happened. Adam with his idol thing, trying to play Jeff's office. Playing that would have been a great move.
It'd have been hilarious.
Kim, I loved how she looked back at him. She just looked at him and was like, okay. She was still thinking. She wasn't sure what she was going to do yet.
Dude, I felt like I knew Tyson. It was Tyson because Tyson's the most similar to Jeremy. And then when they still didn't miss his vote, that's too obvious. They're not going to steal the vote of the person because they know those 4 are coming at them. So you don't really need to steal the vote of the person you're targeting. I just felt like it was kind of a easy bluff, and she should have, I don't know.
Right.
It's easier said than done for sure.
Yeah. No, that's right.
Your idol play can't be touched, though, because if you were wrong, which most likely you would have been wrong because Tyson had no reason not to split the votes. They would have been fine. You're going home if Tyson doesn't make that stupid mistake.
Yeah.
And then the fact that you took Tyson out with that vote, right? Or did you take who went home? Tyson?
Tyson went home.
So for him to go home on that too is freaking hilarious. I couldn't remember if it was him or Rob, but that's such a great season, man. Gosh, such a great season.
Oh no, during my
I love it.
But
sorry, I was just saying it was a great move. Great idol play.
No, and it would have. Now I love the play that Kim made, but once Jeremy got up and walked away, it was over. And if Michelle realized that, then I understand her flipping, because she had at that point. No, I keep saying don't flip on your line, but there comes a point in time when you have to bail because the no matter what, the ship is going to sink. Don't sink with the ship.
Yeah, because it's like, what alliance do we really have if Jeremy's going to pull a move like that? It's not like we're that solid.
My third time I played, I sunk with my ship. I knew I could have threw my vote for my alliance, but I didn't. And that was a bad move. I should have. At that point, you have to. Jeremy didn't have to walk away. He could have stayed strong with his alliance and fought for it. Michelle, ship was sinking, so she jumped.
Yeah, there's no way Michelle would have voted for Denise if Jeremy stayed around. And to be clear, there was no chance Jeremy would have stayed around because Sarah plays the Stilla vote on. She would have stole Jeremy's vote, and then Jeremy would have bounced. So it would have been even more powerful of an advantage if he just sticks, or if he does stick around and she doesn't play, then it's 5 versus 5. So there would have been no way that Michelle would have flipped.
Look, that's right. So if Jeremy would have been loyal to his alliance, he would have stayed. He would have stayed still right there, and then Sarah would have got up and did her thing because he's being loyal to his alliance. Then it comes a decision. Now it's like, okay, she just stole somebody's vote. It's probably mine. If I leave, that helps my alliance. So you tired, man? You look tired.
I am tired, bro. I've been I don't know if I told you, but I've been flipping weight sets, bro. I've been driving all day.
You look tired.
I made
you look tired yawning.
I made
like
$2,000 today, but I went hard. I was so bored the first like week or two of this quarantine, and it was kind of depressing just sitting doing nothing. And now that I found this resell fitness equipment, I'm having a blast. Yeah. But I'm exhausted.
So Tyson's like, he does tell Jeremy. Kim tells Jeremy too. They both tell Jeremy, we need your vote. Kim tells Jeremy, you don't have any friends. You don't have no friends out there, man. So we need to stick together. We didn't see much of them convincing him, but I'm sure they got together and was like, we need to stick together. We have to stick together. No matter what, guys. Even if we were drawing rocks. That's what we used to say. Even if it's a tie, we draw rocks. We're sticking together and we're going to draw rocks. That's back in the day. I know that doesn't happen now. They want to leave now. But he couldn't take it. He's like, I'm out.
It sucks, dude. It really pissed me off when he did that. I felt like it was just a dumb move, and I mean, we've established that. So I wish he would have just been more patient, man, because he could have nullified the Stilla vote.
Yeah, and we can talk about it all we can. It's just that we don't have much to talk about.
It's kind of crazy. I considered Jeremy a pretty strategic mind, even if I would agree with you that he's made his mistakes this season. But for him to not understand that to have patience there and make her play her advantage first, it's just super disappointing, I guess.
Yeah, and it's like those alliances were set in stone. We didn't get to see those alliances set in stone, that 5, where Jeff said, okay, the line has been drawn, the 5-1. And you making me tired yawning like that, so.
Dude, come on, man. Don't let it stop you. There's people listening on the podcast right now. They don't even know. If you're listening on the podcast, thank you. 5-star review, and I've been yawning, so that's why Russell keeps saying that.
So we have the 5 that walk away, right? Now, we didn't see how solid they really were because we didn't get to see none of that because of the family visit and because the episodes are so short. So we didn't get to see, but they look pretty solid because
hell yeah.
Sophie was like, get up, let's go talk.
And I think if they're solid enough to do that, right? But I think after they pull that stunt off, I really think it wakes them up to like, wow, we literally could do that every tribal. Us 5 could go off every tribal if we really wanted.
Yeah.
And that guarantees Final 5. And I mean, honestly, I know that people always turn and they probably will, but to get to the Final 5 is pretty enticing to where they could pull it off. And right now they're going to have a 5-on-4. So if they create a 5-on-3, then really, I don't know. I don't think it'll play out that way, but I could see how that builds their confidence and makes the 5 that were already solid enough to huddle like that even more solid next week.
So we got a guy here saying that Jeremy did the right move. Some people think it is the right move. It's the wrong way of move. It's the wrong move no matter what, all the way around. It's the wrong move because he lets his alliance go. It's a wrong move because he walked out and you hear Wendell. Wendell's part of the alliance. Wendell's going to make a vote. for who wins $2 million. You hear Wendell saying he's walking out on his own land, like just getting up and walking on them. He ain't getting none of them's vote. So yes, it's a good move to get to the end, maybe, because now at this point,
he's not thinking that way though. Like, yes,
no, he's not.
I agree. Yes, this move could be what leads him to going to the end. And the crazy thing about it is if you get to the end, you have a chance no matter what, because you never know who's going to piss who off. And maybe because we've seen undeserving winners win. So, yeah, I guess that's his path to winning this game would be to get carried to the end as a GOAT. And then the two people he's with, like, kind of dominate and be super cocky about it and just rub people the wrong way. And then all of a sudden, it's forgiven that he used that advantage. But if that were to happen, there would be a ton of luck involved because that's not how he intended it to play out when he played this.
No, he didn't. He didn't. If he would have said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get up and walk off. So that makes it easier to want to take me to. Because I'm going to be like, oh. So he thinks that at all. He's not doing that double agent thing.
What I don't like, man, is that if he were to say that, that would be one of the most like deep strategy moves, like one of the more deeper strategic moves, and we would never know. Like somebody, for all we know, has played this game over the last 10 seasons that has made moves like that, where they're like, okay, it's such a shuffling voting block type thing. If I bail on my lines, it keeps me safe this week, and I might get carried a little further because I'll look like a GOAT. I'll look easy to beat, and then if I have a strong finish, beats because maybe it does help him get further and help him get under the radar these next few votes. I don't know, but we would never know if he was thinking that deep into it, which I definitely don't think he was. But if he was, it would be nice to see that in some bonus content. It would be nice to have a 90-minute episode, and the first 10 minutes of each episode, they answer all our questions. Because it's cool to edit it where we're in the dark and we don't know who the heck's going home, because that's what makes it fun. But fill us in the first 5 or 10 minutes of the next episode, just like they do on Big Brother, this freaking CBS show. Like, it shouldn't be too hard for them to figure that out.
Yeah. So you have Kim. This is what I'm talking about. The whole time we're talking about Kim, she's not playing the game yet. Everybody's like, oh, she's making the wrong decision. She wanted to get rid of Dick last week. Didn't do that. And now she's like, I'm playing. Now all of a sudden she wants to play the game with 5 people left. Only 5 in there. All of a sudden she's like, oh, I'm doing it now. I'm doing it.
She made another wrong decision tonight. I seriously, I just felt like Tyson was an easy one. It was easy to see the bluff, but
even though she is playing the game, yes, now I will say on my player's performance that I agree with her move. It didn't matter once Jeremy left. At that point, you're right. She should have played it on herself.
She should have played it on herself, because the thing that should have happened is it should have been a 3-3 split, which would have meant that her idol doesn't mean anything. And now I think that's not how that obviously isn't. They didn't split their votes 3-3, which I don't understand why they didn't do that. There's some of the stuff that they vote, these people aren't playing it perfectly. You know what I mean? They're not the best player, because like the best strategy player, like that's super strategic, like Cochran or someone like that really makes intelligent decisions with like when to play something and not. If it was like that, it would have been 3-3, and then for Kim, she should have protected herself in case.
Well, they're not doing at all what we think, because it was 5-2-2.
Yeah, they're doing. Which means some people are making really weird decisions.
Where's the 3 votes? Where's the Tyson, Michelle, Denise vote? Where's that vote? Where's those 3 votes go to? Where she stole whose vote? She stole Denise's vote.
She stole
Denise's vote. Okay, so there it goes. Then you have Tyson, then you have Kim, and Michelle flipped her vote. Am I missing somebody?
Well, I don't. I guess I don't see how Denise got 2 votes, we're saying? Well, it kind of sucks to try to piece this together.
That's not even right. They say if Jeremy stays, he vote up. No, that's not the case at all, because they have enough votes at that point to vote someone out. So they could have worked with Jeremy being there.
I mean, it would have been 5-5, and they would have had an idol played, and maybe Kim would have got that right because she wouldn't have had the distraction of still a vote on Denise, which is what got her. I think, and really,
no, that's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. Michelle flipped only because Jeremy walked away.
Yeah,
you're not getting it.
It's not
Cranberry.
Like Michelle did the smart thing for sure there.
Right.
I think also Kim may have been. She obviously overthought it and she had to make a guess, but I thought it was obvious it was Tyson. But I think maybe last second she's like, man, how dumb would I feel if they did vote out Denise after they stole her vote? It would have been so obvious, and I would have been over. So she tried to avoid overthinking it. Who knows? Maybe she doesn't think that deep at all, though. There's a good chance she doesn't. So
this is what I'm trying to say, and I see how everybody trying to get frustrated and not knowing really what's going on in the game. But what I'm trying to tell you guys in the comment section here that's not listening on the podcast is with Jeremy staying there, it gives him hope. It gives them a fighting chance. And then Kim's vote, the idol, could have went to somebody if she would have chose right. Everything could have changed. They would have had a fighting chance, and they didn't. So it all depends on Jeremy leaving. Now, Jeremy leaves, and of course, Michelle's going to flip her vote because Jeremy leaves. Now, if Jeremy stays, does she flip her vote? Probably not. She probably goes with the plan because they had a plan.
Who do you think Jeremy is going to try to latch on to now? Because I think him and Tyson were probably the closest. When I look at Jeremy's side, though, Denise, I don't think that 5 that Jeremy had would have been solid going forward. I don't know. Do you? Because I think Denise is kind of like she'll do whatever.
Right. No, Denise will do whatever. They all would do whatever at this point.
Yeah.
It's a scramble to the end at this point. They're not. That 5 is going to have to separate pretty soon.
I think the 5 that huddled tonight there's a chance that they could just do the same thing and they say, look, we're going to huddle at tribal every time, or at least, I don't know. I think it builds confidence for sure the way they huddled tonight.
If they huddle at tribal council again, Jeff's going to be like, you guys, what are y'all doing?
People are going to hate it.
Get it straight?
It's a very hateable move, but also, I mean, it worked. It helped them get on the same page, especially because they were planning on voting out Jeremy. So even if they put a backup plan in place, it would be nice to hear, hey, all right, we're going with the other plan or whatever.
I wonder how long they really huddled.
They didn't
because they had to sit there. But I wonder how long they huddled because they probably edited a lot out. Because you sit there, you huddle together, you got to split the votes. In their mind, they got to say, okay, you vote for this, you vote for this. Everybody. If I was in that, I would have got up and walked to their huddle.
Yeah, it's kind of tough because then they could easily just say, all right, we're going for, but they can't do that because they can't openly reveal who they're voting for. So, yeah.
No, if I would have walked to their huddle and say, okay, who we vote now?
Yeah, because they can't really
stick my head right in there.
I bet the 4 were so scared to do that, but if you did that, it would actually be the right move to do there because if they say, okay, we're voting him out and they all solidify that, then it's like, okay, once everyone votes, you just tell Kim, hey, they said they were voting out me, and then boom.
Yeah. All right. Well, we can go on and talk about the same thing over and over because all we had was the loved ones visit and tribal council. That's all we really had. And we talked about the loved ones visit. We talked about tribal, the same thing over and over. And that's all we really have to talk about. I'm shocked that we're almost an hour in. We made the hour. That's a good thing. But that's it, guys. We really don't have anything else to talk about. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 25,000 subscribers. If you want to see what happens when it gets released, you put that notification button right there. Hit that and like it so we can keep growing. And we appreciate you watching. Hopefully next episode we have more to talk about. This time they gave us 2 things to talk about, tribal and the loved ones visit.
And Tony got his immunity win.
Tony had his first immunity win ever in 3 seasons. Can you believe it?
That's interesting. He had one. I guess
It
he's
is,
not.
ain't it?
He's not the ideal immunity challenge person, though.
No.
He doesn't.
Our body types, like Tony and me, we don't have good immunity bodies. Or
The thing
even though I
is,
won 2.
yeah, you're so competitive, and Tony doesn't have that
I won
insane
3
level.
in 2 seasons. Both ones at the very end. The very last one to have the speech for the million, I won. So when push comes shove on my seasons, I took it.
It's sad.
And that's the best time to win, the last one. You're going to win one, you win the last one.
It's
So that's it, guys. We appreciate you watching. We almost had 600 views at one time.
It's crazy.
So
It's crazy. It's growing.
it's growing. We're getting bigger and bigger. So we're going to all watch Jeremy go home together pretty soon. So let's see that happen. Or not, maybe not. Maybe they could take them to the end at this point because they think they can beat them.
Dude, if you get to the end, you always have a chance.
You always have a fighting chance.
Unfortunately, because I say that because so many people that I was weren't deserving won.
They say I should block Cranberry. I'm not going to block Cranberry for liking Jeremy. That's fine. You can like Jeremy. I just think I think Cranberry is wrong, and that's all there is to it. Cranberry, you're wrong.
It's funny that there's someone's username is Cranberry. We're talking about
right.
And yeah, come
all
on,
right.
man. You can't block people for liking different cast members. Come on.
Right. We block people for spoiling things. That's about it. All right, Cranberry. You have a good night. Hope for you, Jeremy. I appreciate you guys watching. Later. Keep hope alive, Cranberry.
That's funny, dude. The Cranberry.